Los Angeles is a giant metropolis. It encompasses Long Beach, San Pedro, and the Valley. These crime stories are based on true events.
The air hung thick with the salt of the harbor and the faint rot of forgotten deals. Detectives Larry Ambrose and Stanley Chavez, partners in the grit of the streets, had seen their share of unraveling lives. But this night would etch itself into their souls like a blade through fogged glass. It started with whispers, a man on the edge, drowning in debt and delusion. Eugene Halverson was a small-time hustler with a soda pop front for his stolen goods empire had cracked. His world was a house of cards. Bankruptcy since '81. A $16,000 loan from Shark Wendell West due in 3 weeks, backed by his home and everything in it. Greed gnawed at him, but so did something darker. Paranoia, blooming like black mold in the corners of his mind. Halverson's wife, Amalia, watched him erode. The man who'd once lent neighbors money now threw tantrums, his infrequent beers turning to daily whiskey binges. He'd wake screaming of shadows closing in, haunted by a cousin's suicide over an unpaid debt. His stepdaughters flinched at his outbursts. Even his mother-in-law, Bertacia, noted the stranger next door, nervous, distant, affection curdled to ash. That Sunday, Halverson spiraled. Dawn broke with a 6 a.m. exit from his Stanton Place home. A quick return, then gone again. By noon, he was at the Anchor Inn, slurring deals over pool with William Destro. Gold chains from a phantom ship in the harbor. $400 a pop. A fortune to fence. But the cues clacked like accusations. Halverson drank deep, whiskey chasing beer. His checks useless without cash. Destro's wife, the bartender, balked at cashing a $1,500 draft. Hours blurred into frenzy. Pool bets doubled, tripled. Halverson lost $9,000 in imagined games, slamming cues, kicking stools, his laughter a jagged edge. Forget it, Destro urged, sensing the storm. But Halverson...
Los Angeles is a giant metropolis. It encompasses Long Beach, San Pedro, and the Valley. These crime stories are based on true events. Police detectives Larry Ambrose and Stanley Chavez investigate.
Detective Larry Ambrose and Detective Stanley Chavez are working the late shift. They're sitting at an outdoor taco food truck on Long Beach Boulevard and Wardlow Road. A quiet night in an upscale part of Long Beach, an area called California Heights. We hear 2 men shouting, young children screaming. Front door bell rings. Nico Bartoli answers the door. "Hello, Halverson. I'm looking for your dad." Nico yells to his dad. "It's for you, Dad." Bartoli did not know why Halverson had come to his home, but thought perhaps he wanted to borrow money or arrange a business transaction. Bartoli walked toward his bedroom, but then felt strange and turned around. Halverson, who had not said anything, was standing about 5 to 6 feet behind him. "Bartoli, what are you here for?" Halverson had been drinking heavily, raised a gun and said, "You're dead, Gene. You're dead." Bartoli, "Why?" Halverson, with no warning, shot Gino in the left side of his upper chest from a distance of less than 3 feet. Bartoli, "You son of a bitch." The shot knocked Gino backward 2 or 3 feet into the wall. He screamed for his children to leave the house. Bartoli, "Nico, Lisa, run!" They ran next door to call the police. Bartoli. As they were running out of the house, Halverson fired a second shot, hitting Bartoli near the right shoulder. Gino, who was 6 feet 5 inches tall, a former professional football player and weighed about 270 pounds, pushed Halverson backward into a china cabinet in the dining room, smashing a glass pane. Bartoli and Halverson lay on the broken glass. Gino pinned Halverson down by the throat. "You asshole, it's your turn to die." Bartoli grabbed Halverson's gun with his left hand, aimed it at Halverson's chest. He pulled the trigger 2 or 3 times, but the gun did not fire, so he let go of it. Bartoli grabbed a piece of broken glass and cut Halverson's throat. Halverson. "You got me, Gene. I'm dead. I'm dead."
Los Angeles is a giant metropolis. It encompasses Long Beach, San Pedro, and the Valley. These crime stories are based on true
Detectives
events.
Ambrose and Chavez arrive at the scene. Neighbors are in the streets. Officers are taping the scene. Paramedics are moving Bartoli into fire department ambulance. Detectives Ambrose and Chavez enter Bartoli's home. His 2 children are sobbing. Detective Ambrose consoles the daughter while Detective Chavez tries to calm Bartoli's son. City Family Services begin consoling the children, and they are moved to an unmarked car for counseling services. Detective Larry Ambrose. What a mess. These kids have been through hell. There's a blood trail. Looks like he escaped through the back door. Detective Stanley Chavez. "I'll check it out." Sergeant Masters arrives. "Sergeant Masters. Something insane happened here tonight. We've got to piece this together. I've got a police helicopter combing the area. Detectives are talking to the neighbors. Maybe they know what happened. Officers are interviewing any of the neighbors that may have heard or seen anything." Officer Rowland walks towards Sergeant Masters after interviewing the next-door neighbor. "Sergeant Masters. Find out where this man lives and talk to his wife or family." Detective Larry Ambrose and Detective Stanley Chavez arrive at the Halverson residence. It's late. They ring the doorbell. The lights on the inside of the home switch on. She comes to the door, rubbing her eyes, after just awakening. Looks into the peephole, sees the officers. Amelia Gomez. "Please don't tell me my husband's dead or hurt someone." Detective Larry Ambrose. "Can we come in?" Amelia Gomez. "Yes, please." Amelia walks them into the front room. Detective Larry Ambrose. "I'm sorry to tell you, but your husband's been part of an altercation with a Gino Bartoli. Do you know anything about him?" Amelia Gomez. "Is he okay?" Detective Stanley Chavez. "We thought he might be here. What can you tell us?" Amelia Gomez. "He told me not to worry, he would be right back. Tell me what's happening." Detective Larry Ambrose. "There's been a shooting." Amelia Gomez. "Is he all right?" Detective Larry Ambrose. "We think
Los Angeles is a giant metropolis. It encompasses Long Beach, San Pedro, and the Valley. These crime stories are based on true events. Police detectives Larry Ambrose and Stanley Chavez investigate.
Amelia Gomez. "Is he all right?" Detective Larry Ambrose. "We thought you might know." Amelia Gomez. "He's been drinking a lot lately. He's been using foul language. He's had memory lapses. He didn't hurt me or the girls, but he's gotten in a rage. He's been drunk almost every night. He would throw things around the house." Detective Stanley Chavez. "What do you think's caused this?" Amelia Gomez. He's been working long hours. He's been tense, nervous, restless, and hasn't been sleeping well. He hasn't been well since my cousin committed suicide because my husband owed him money and couldn't pay it back. Detective Stanley Chavez. Do you think this may have caused him to become violent? Amelia Gomez. I knew something was wrong. He's been very good with the girls, but a few days ago he was drinking heavily. He thought our daughter smart-mouthed him and he hit her. Amelia begins sobbing. Detective Larry Ambrose. Anything else you can tell us? Amelia Gomez. I know he was very concerned since we put an $11,000 loan against our house a few weeks ago. I'm sure it had something to do with money. Detective Larry Ambrose. Do you know anything about a Gino Bartoli? Amelia Gomez. I heard his name, something about a $1,000 check he received from Bartoli, and he couldn't cash it. Gino Bartoli later was admitted to the hospital and underwent surgery. Detectives Larry Ambrose and Stanley Chavez continued their investigation.